The AYV newspaper headlines, it says, processing 40,000 tons of fiber, Arise IPP's textile industry to provide 170,000 jobs. And Ambassador Anthony Nava Jr. reacts to Drizzle's performance, and Chidi Blyden appointed MCC's deputy CEO. And on the exclusive newspaper headlines, it says, stalemates at dialogue, APC wants rerun, SLPP says no. And Arise IPP project, a game changer in Sierra Leone. And IB Cargo spits fire, I beg your pardon. And on the Awoko newspaper headlines, it says, nobody wins, nobody has lost, APC's Samura. And Lands Ministry generates over Leone 38.9 billion in 9 months. And Connaught Hospital undergoes transformation. And also 73% of girls have access to technology, MGI reports shows. And on the New Vision newspaper headline says, Arise IPP and King Ho saga, governments to seek country's best interests. A government braces for climate change. President Bio launches ambitious feed salon. And on the Times newspaper headlines, it says, over violent attack on journalists. Sengbe Mara ESQ requests investigation by police board. Problems do not seem to end for Standard Bank. Establishing Liberty Online TV, ex-Radio Democracy staff poised to change narrative of journalism and ask the U.S. Chancellor. And also, MME Barry takes oath of office as Director General of SLACA. And on the Forum newspaper headlines, it says, May dialogue connect the missing links, counting the cost of COI, and MBSSC endorses UBA Foundation fourth neck. SLCB boosts feed salon for self-sufficient nation. And controversial lease agreement, King Ho silence pays off. And on the Satellite newspaper headlines, it says, as mediated dialogues and U.S. ambassador appeals to political leaders. And Sierra Leone Commercial Bank boosts feed salon for self-sufficient nation. And Leone Rock Metal Group, LRMG, refutes monopoly allegations. And on the Drone newspaper headlines, it says, fuel theft at Standard Chartered Bank. And for enhancing access, customers extol service of Rokel Commercial Bank. Still on the Drone newspaper headlines, it says, constructing biggest seaport at Banana Island, gentle poised to change the slavery narrative. And violence against journalists, lawyer Mara writes Police Complaints Board. And Leone Rock signs sponsorship deal with Sierra Leone Premier League. On the Women's Voice newspaper headlines, it says, on Girls' Child Day, Minister Mahoy says, aggressive campaign to protect girls begins. And Christiana Sia Johnson from Nurse to Beauty Pageant. Also from Sierra Leone, New York, female activism beyond borders. And Korean Republic donates equipment to foreign service. And Salon badly needs diagnostic specialists. And on the Independent Observer newspaper headline says, Chinese debt diplomacy, they propel rail and ports. Stella Bangura returns with On the Spot Season 3. And RAIC holds regulation workshop. And on the Concord Times newspaper headline says, community stakeholders reject Arise IPP. And EU dialogue with the BO administration. And assaults by state security personnel, journalist Ibrahim Alusain Kamara seek redress. And UN Women launches coalition of women-focused CSOs today. And lastly, on the AZ newspaper headlines, it says, Lungate to become financial city soon. And Sierra Leone braces for imminent mobile tariff increase. And President Bio upgrades NASIT pension to 250 leones from Leone 30. Says NASIT DG. And Kamasundu Chief Dom pledges unwavering support to Leone Rock Metal Group. And Minister of Finance excels at the IMF World Bank Group meetings in Morocco. Those are the headlines from the various newspapers. So I would like to start off with the Exclusive newspaper headlines which say stalemate at dialogue, APC wants Leone, SLPP says no. And that brings in my guest for today. Good morning once again, Abdurrahman.
Good morning.
So we just see the conclusion of the peace dialogue. First off, what's your take on it?
Well, I think it's a joy for the entire nation. The outcome, in the views of many people, has long been anticipated. Pretty much aware that this is the way to go.
Just to interrupt you quickly, it's both English and Creole.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry,
yeah.
I think it's
the outcome. Nothing where I'm sure has long been anticipated by political pundits, irrespective of the back and forth. You know, even in death, you cannot be in grief till whenever. You therefore look at a point when you say, you know what, God is a giver and God is a taker. You therefore accept the reality of what will happen. Given the political situation as it is, yesterday, I'm sure every Sierra Leonean require to make a kind of what I can term as a noisy jollification. We feel gratified because we don't break the stalemate. I say we as a nation, we don't break the stalemate. The indication now is that the burden of the communique has grossly been shifted to the government. The burden has been shifted. If you look at the recommendations on the communique, so many, apart from the preambles, the thing that we APC call for, they actually don't succumb now, but it comes with an attached condition. And then conditionally, it gets for take the government much more for proof, sincerity, and dedication to the spirit of the communique. So we're looking forward to how the government can able to meander in a way for ensure say they become a stickler to precision. Now everybody don't know. The communique is out. Everybody don't know what it entails. But over and above, I equally see, this is my personal view, I equally see an interplay of within sociologists that call a familiar ties for diffuse the entire political stalemate. You remember, it was an AYV when Lamrana interviewed Dr. Senge. He was on here when he talks, say, Dr. Samuel Kamara married his auntie. You understand?
Yes, please.
You go further for even look at the relationship between the National Publicity Secretary of the APC with a CDA at Tunis, and in cousin to Dr. David Senge. They're all from Pujom. So I can always say two things. That we familiar ties inter what I can say regional connectivity gets a critical role for play, much more so with religious tolerance over the years. So for me, I think this is a win-win for every Sierra Leonean. I know it comes with a mixed feeling. Other people, and especially the grassroots of the APC, are not going to be immediately happy. But the responsibility equally lies on the leadership of the APC party for making them come and respond swiftly, for making them even tell them what it constitutes the letter and spirit of the communique and the associated benefits. Okay. Everyone is unthinkable. This is something where I don't often they say.
Okay, I want to bring you come back to your own very own newspaper, when AYV newspaper, and the headline will still say and say processing 40,000 tons of fiber. Arise IPP's textile industry to provide 170,000 jobs. I mean, as a Sierra Leonean, what does this mean, to a country?
Well, you put me on the spot when it comes to Arise. Okay. Because some of we believe in the spirit of investment, in as much as they deal with direct foreign investment. We equally get the responsibility for promoting to call the private sector. The private sector always will be the socio-economic growth of the nation. Arise, I must say, get a lot of associated benefits. This is something you cannot dismiss until you take your time for look at the aggregate portfolio investment on Arise. Then you go come for appreciate the sincerity on the operational activity of Arise. Here, the government of Sierra Leone, I must say, is now in a catch-22 situation. What do I mean? You get other contesting parties on the interests of Arise, for which then get a contractual agreement. You understand? I deal with the legal framework a little bit because now that the leverage for make Arise realize and benefit. You get Arise, they come, they don't manifest their interest, they get a contractual agreement laid down, you understand, cabinet approval. You get another party where they insist even when the law don't tell them, say, when a contract has been terminated, when I look for a renewal. But yet still, somebody somewhere or just a group of people just feel say they get a vested interest, they try to confuse the presidency. And in this case, the right thing should be done. It is not about individual. It is about the interest of the state. Government, the president in his second inning, they actually make a declaration, say, agriculture, employment, the feed salon, now in priority areas. And you know, the government will get the capability for actually make that worthy employment without the private sector come inside. Okay. And the only answer to the ambitious project of the government in terms of employing people now Arise. Okay. Because for others, they always don't reach what they call a saturation point. And Arise, you look at what they happen on Akoya, they've just started. The entire Akoya, an officer, you get anybody when an idler anymore. And it's not only attracting the inhabitants of Koya, it goes further within the Post-Local district. People are flocking into Koya for ensure, say, they're not left out of the employment equation. People in the move from the city of Return go na Koya for ensure, say, but this investment portfolio, we know they left behind. So I'm not going to re-emphasize the importance of the arrival of Arise. The 26th of this month, something where we don't ever see since independence for 62 years, the arrival of the rail cars get for set in the country.
So in relation to the rail cars, yes. I mean, public don't they react towards, you know, the concern about the rail cars and all. We all know how difficult it is for transportation, access to transportation in the country. You know, sometimes people find it very challenging. You know, what do you think don't prompt this intervention, you know, of having rail cars? Well, a part of the investment portfolio of Arise, they not only they come concentrate on mineral on mining activity or getting. The job here is that even they tell you, say, when mining companies they struggle for the shipment of the ore or bauxite or whatever you take, you understand? Mm-hmm. Then they're readily enough for provide the answer. You understand? You're not going to be a player at the same time, you be a referee. If your business, principally, now for mine, get somebody else where they come and tell you, say, I transport your goods to the destination where you want them. You understand? That way, government, they make more income because if you, the mine at the same time you do transportation, you get a tendency for under-declare your product. So like make the then Minister of Mines, Timothy Musa Kaba, he thought some wise say, that's what they call monopoly. We need for break them. And when once we break them, we bring in interested third party, and that the law say, break the monopoly, creates the leverage for the other third party come inside. What's the first about it? Why you feel say you need for monopolize? You've played dominance over the sector for quite a while. Allow other players to come inside and see how transformation they go inside. And this Arise, it not only stop for transport you all, it even get what we call
agriculture gets a sector what they call linking farmers to the market. That struggle that they struggle over the years, forget to produce or for farmers them from one point to another point, arise with the rail cars, go answer, go address that one day, even beyond the shores of Sierra Leone, go as far as Guinea, Liberia, Senegal, and all other areas. You understand? So to me, arise at the material moment, and I re-emphasize, at the material moment, arise is the answer to the investment opportunity where we get to this country.
Now, with regards to that, are there any environmental or sustainability consideration in terms of the process of the large quantity of fiber?
It depends on who you talk to. I'm sure that has been taken care of by EPA and the statutory, and they get the statutory responsibility. Because if you look at all of which, the question we ask in relation, EPA go down do the feasibility study and tell you, say, they do public disclosure. When last they do public disclosure by CIMAT. Arise employs CIMAT, one of the best in the country, headed by no less a person, engineer Andrew Camo Kelly. They don't do the public disclosure. They are fit for purpose. You understand? Environmentally friendly. They know exactly what they do, and they have been okayed by EPA and other bodies. Then do an approach local. Everybody was there. We ran the story on television, both AYV and Star Television, as well as SLBC. So if there are any contention, that should have been debated upon. But for the fact that then don't jump over the hurdles and they are fit for purpose. The best we can do, if we miss this opportunity against the backdrop of few Sierra Leoneans, we just feel safe for the young personal aggrandizement, then go disturb the presidency. I'm afraid we're taking 10 steps backwards. Because over the years, as far as we're concerned, we don't get a kind of arrested development. Arrested development, we feel say we move until you get out of this country. You understand? You go other country. That the table no say, Salon, we get arrested development. We were in Gabon, we were in Benin, Togo, somewhere. We say arise and get the SIZ, the economic zones. My God, you go be so surprised for say, we get the required environment, we get the required expertise, we get the required mindset for even catch up with the people and pass them, surpass them in terms of their own investment portfolio. So at the time you say, arise is the answer for investment activities of the country. Only if the government is serious for actually do business with them.
Absolutely. As a senior journalist, I know for a fact say you don't follow, like you say you've been to several countries with Arise, and the numbers are huge, 170,000 job creation. What's not the potential economic and social impact, where this could bring to jobs them for young people specifically?
That cannot be overemphasized. Over the years, previous governments as well as the current government, don't they pay lip service to employment activities? Now they can't tell you so they can't create the government gets an ambitious program of creating 500,000 jobs. The question is, they get that absorptive capacity? The answer is, somebody is listening to me and watching me, the answer is no. Government no get. The only person we get the capability for even surpass 500,000 is Arise. As I say, others they don't meet the saturation point. You understand? They go before again. There's no way you can proceed from the point where you did. But this Arise, now a starting point. You understand? Take a ride to Koya and see the current development trajectory where they go on at that place there. You go so shocked within the shortest possible time. When the president began to Koya and launch the SIZ, the economic zone, and what did happen now? The perimeter at Koya, outside the economic zone there, is almost completed. You understand? That will show you the avowed determination where Arise gets for tell you say, we not only Kanaya as a portfolio investors, we Kanaya with a purpose, we Kanaya with full determination, we Kanaya with the interest of the nation first and all other things afterwards. not to then portfolio investors the way they buying Chinese man for tell you say this is what we want, give me this force, you understand, look me bank account, send them. No, somebody somewhere, a young man braces himself up and knows say this is where we want to go, and this is where we want to help the presidency for ensure say it fulfill an ambition on the 500,000 employment capability for young people. You see people you see young boy they take kush. This is not of their making. It is not of their making. We don't frown at them so many times. It is not of their making. It's just because that's what they call absorptive capacity. Nobody know they for employ them. Take the entire country, length and breadth, the private sector compared to international mining activity or other projects the way they can. Who do they do well? Who see whether ever they not interested until you say I don't employ or I get the capability for employ more than 500,000. Nobody. So I tell you say if we toy with Arise, then we don't make a calculated risk for even destroy the future of the young people in this country. It's a calculated risk.
You made mention of the several places the way Arise on the ensure say things go well, acquire in a couple of other places. Is it that it's just specific regions them then just get for the look at, or it's open to just a different other regions them across the country?
This is a first phase. In a project proposal, you get a first phase, a trial. You understand? When you succeed, you get the potential for expanding the entire country. When they will cast away the council, the 26, we will all get for them a deport a key for receive them in a very joyous mood. They tell you say they don't only they limit from Tonkolidi or others, they go across the entire country. As I talk to you, one of the experts will build the rail for African mineral is in country, is an American. A dinner in readiness for ensure say it build them particular rail for them for the rails them for the rail cars. So there is no doubt about it. If you question the sincerity, if you question you question the determination of Arise for actually move to where they want to see this nation moving, then just give us few time. I say we, because I identify myself as part of Arise. You understand? Because I believe in the vision, I believe in the investment portfolio, I believe in the progress, you understand, of waiting this investment activity get for come up with.
Now, on the AYV newspaper headline, they mentioned Arise IPP's textile industry to provide 170,000 jobs. And we all know how significant is the textile industry and how much significant role it can play in terms of economy and job creation. So what do we expect from this?
Well, now a similar thing we see when me and my colleagues go like Gabon. Then cotton. When he says I say where you can na cotton tree, they tell you cotton for them. Then cotton they drop like ground. I'll tell you something. Now the biggest investment for Gabonese. You get a truckload of trailers where they load them till and day. Now then they make them, then cotton and make textile, everything. When they discard them because we not even know the value we attach to them till and day.
Even with ships.
Good. So even when they make when they apply the boards them, the remnant, you get a company we specialize for make a transformation to woods. So in Arise, every bit of activity they come with a corresponding activity. That they tell you say what you consider for be a waste. Even the waste then they manufacture them to something else where they give you much more. You get over the years without pay lip service. You get a company where they pay you a pittance. You feel that they are doing good to you. They are not, because few people they don't create a conclave for make the presidency not understand what it takes and what it constitutes the beneficiation of some of them companies the way they come. You understand? But here, that's what they call transparency. You understand? I don't know whether we are present at the launch. You understand? The guy will come, they make them very clear that we there for help. The benefits are associated there. It is everything. And the president was so impressed. He was so impressed. And they say something, Arise is going to win, and they don't get no option but for actually win. And they tell you this, mark my words and read my lips.
Looking at the global market in terms of textile, how will Arise IPP compete in terms of that, you know, and probably what do you think will be some of the challenges that we don't go face?
I mean, with the expertise we then get already. As I tell you, you look like Gabon or Benin. Arise on the textile way they talk about the biggest market is America. We were there when we interviewed these guys. You know what interview? We they make a shipment now to America. You ever think of that? Benin t-shirts them. When they make, they say USA delivery to the United States. So equally so, not just a transposition of similar skill sets into Sierra Leone within the economic zone Akoya. You know how many companies they get for operating under? All with different expertise. All with different expertise. Textile, agriculture, everything. You understand? You know how people don't fleece way over the years? If you look at the World Bank report, you look at how the mining companies have over the years don't fleece this country. Somebody they tell you say, they give 1.2 billion compared to what they get. It's a pittance. You go shake your head. Botswana, when they negotiate with the mining activity, you understand, for them take away profit, revenue generation, it's 51%. Here, we don't even get closer to 10%. I'm not even sure. What do they get? They make them say we still there on what we refer to as a resource cost. We minerals them since the establishment of the founding of diamond in 1930s. They don't ever benefit we at all. Otherwise, we don't get no business for make we go big IMF. We don't get no business for even Debian European Union for they say we can't support you on a free quality education. We can't support you on education. Now the president gets an ambition of feed salon.
Yeah.
You feel say Usa you will get the money. That through IMF, the revenue generation alone. You get somebody where the president just appoints within 60 days, it raised the revenue to 125 billion. Within 60 days of your appointment, Ibrahim Bamaswari, the NRA, because he's a determined mind. And it tell you say that alone not enough for him. So let alone you get a company, we get the forethought and foresight for tell you say, we not only they pay back to UNA, we they cut down on the rate of employment. People in the Sirona ghetto already they talk about Manchester United, Arsenal, SLPP, APC, NGC, PMDC. When you get a company where they preoccupy the mind of young people, trust me, they don't even want to know the calendar of election or the kind of the country.
Exactly. So I'll definitely agree with you on that.
Yes.
Now 170,000 job creation is quite huge. So what are the specific types of jobs then we they look at, and how then they go for benefits, you know, use them across the country. Let me not just look at just say na the region, you know.
You get a lot of variation. You get one where you name textile. You get what I can say even they do construction of roads, transportation, agriculture. Take your goods. You get people when we go to Gabon. I keep referencing Gabon because I was a disciple to the development growth trajectory. My colleague Sally Tijan Jallo, the Thomas Dixie were there. We are so impressed. We see how farmers always see it for do within the farm. Put you good. You get trailers you get trailers where they can take all your goods. Because it's been a challenge linking farmers to the market. It's been a challenge. We started it here with the Ministry of Agriculture. And not prove worthwhile. Now somebody they come and tell you say, they can help you when you make you farm, when you don't harvest done. We responsibility of can take all of them goods there, send them on the market. You understand? Which can profit someone day. They get a lot of investment, housing, everything where they think of. So that it's a kind of unlimited investment portfolio. Very much unlimited. All we see the government they look out for is embedded within the investment portfolio of Arise, from science to space.
A quick question just before we go to another conversation. Do you think Sierra Leoneans actually, so you think the Sierra Leoneans are actually ready for these railway cars?
You see, I can always say, we get for question the old beliefs, for form a new opinion. You understand? Now that's me, lecturer tell me, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima. You get for question the old belief. Oh, because we don't get rail car for over how many years? Malaysia don't get rail car for over 60 years. My colleague go recently in Malaysia, he use them. He make a TikTok. Ranger. He take inside the rail car, he make a TikTok. They don't get her for over 60 years. Oh, because we don't get her, so we don't forget her. It takes somewhere to start. And the starting point, the future of this country, the development growth trajectory, where it be say if President Bio, after in last inning, go sit down and say, this is a legacy etched in time. Now, Arise.
Okay, as you say, Arise is here to stay. So what
Arise where they go no side.
Exactly. So what do you think then at the timeline for some of the implementation there? So and what do you expect, from Arise in the coming future?
Well, I don't summarize the key achievement. It will open this country to more investment opportunities. Arise will set the pace for the coming in of viable investment opportunities. Because for what they see now people who don't flee sweet over the years, we not get no associated benefits. Otherwise, this country not forever do so. We see an expanse of road, go to Gabon and see the expanse of road. Go to Benin and see the airport. When you come down at Benin, the airport, you come down at Gabon, you go actually know say these two countries are serious.
And develop. Okay.
You understand? You begin to see the development from the facade. That at the airport, they tell you say Buddha are actually serious. So the government, they actually tell you say we come on a new direction for change the entire narrative. So this is the point where we need for question the old beliefs, for form a new opinion. You understand? If we miss this opportunity, trust me, 100 more years, forget similar opportunity like Arise.
I'm not sure Sierra Leoneans then go on for miss this opportunity, most definitely.
I'm sure the presidency is convinced.
Exactly. So,
except for few people.
Well, we'll go try as best as possible for getting few people and for believing.
I got my colleague yesterday who hosted starting with him. He swear on air.
Okay, so let we come back to the exclusive newspaper headlines with regards to stalemates at Dialogue. APC wants a re-run and SLPP says no.
But we don't pass the stage on there.
Yeah, no, but let we come back to the issue of stalemates, what's not the context and background of the dialogue will lead to the fact that the exclusive newspaper they come out say there is some sort of like stalemates?
No, officer, except otherwise, can I take a look at the headline? Please
go ahead. On that regards, you've been earlier on the Sky for explain about your own take regarding the dialogue.
No. What's in this exclusive? As a newspaper editor, before coming to the electronics, this paper they give reference to the preliminary challenges we've been underscore the dialogue.
Exactly.
Remember, it's been 3 days. One, the SLPP, the APC was insisting, the SLPP was persisting.
Persisting, yes, exactly.
So one insists, one persist, until we get a tiebreaker. When we get a tiebreaker, now it leads we to dialogue. If there is any stalemate, we shouldn't have gotten to the point to how they get a dialogue.
Okay.
And you see on the dialogue, underneath the dialogue, you see a lot of signatorism. Where everybody sign.
Exactly.
The stakeholders. So it not tell you much more of any stalemate. I'm sure it's that right, I did try to point out. Now it's be underscore the challenges. But I'm sure the wise minds will jump over the hurdles and they. You understand? If I'm to write a newspaper now, I don't even go further to looking at stalemate. I concentrate on the recommendations and how for, because you're taking the populace back aback. You understand? Either you try for creative suspense, but that is deliberate. But for me, I will tell you, say, I will concentrate much more on the recommendations and order for implement the recommendations in there. Because if you look at the footnote of all the recommendations in there, there's a caveat. It tells you, say, to be considered by government.
So from the mediated dialogue we then get between the government of Sierra Leone and the All People's Congress Party, we see resolutions there. So, and I can read from waiting highlights there. So, the parties resolve the following. One is Excellency the President to make a national address on dialogue, unity, and cohesion and peace. And also, two, the APC will end its non-participation in governance. What's your take on that?
I mean, this is the nicety of the outcome. And these are the things we should focus on now.
Exactly so.
We are journalists. We talk of development journalism. When even this stalemate's been there, you understand? All of us, we are psychologically obsessed. Because when you talk of the nation, now we all make the nation. You understand? You get two friends in effect. You are no glady. Until they become friends, then they put aside all the differences. Ending up the boycott, that until you say, they're ready for take part. Very soon, the mayor elected, Akisoya, will be soon go take an oath of office. The parliamentarians then go assume their seats. But in this case, I already assumed the role of CDA Attunis as a national public secretary. He is there to say all of these things. But by wider implication, this is exactly what the communique meant. That they've accepted all of these conditions. Now, it made the append the signature underneath. The signatures are there. So we've accepted all of these. Now, I make a say, initially, I tell you, say, the burden now have been shifted much more to the government for prove the sincerity and dedication to this communique. Okay,
so let me come to the New Vision newspaper, and now one of the headlines and say President Bill launches ambitious feed salon. I mean, what does this project mean for Sierra Leoneans?
This project means a lot. It means a lot. The last statement of His Excellency the Parliament, he made it very clear that in his second inning, he gave to pay attention on agriculture. You have to pay attention on agriculture. You know the kind of money we, for the past 15 years, we government waste on rice importation. It's too much. We get arable lands. So our food-borne upline, the only thing we count to our education. We know how fertile the lands in the upcountry. But we ask ourselves a question over the years. What thing we don't do for get out of this agricultural quagmire? Why government, they spend so much, over 200 million United States dollars on rice importation? Where we get the Rokupo rice research, you understand? You get so many other areas, Tomabom rice, where we do well. We are little boys coming in bowl when we are about Tomabom rice. There was a time, depending on who you talk to, they tell you, say, Salome, they export rice out of this country. But what will happen? We'll get a break in that kind of development there. So you get a president will tell you, say, in the second inning, I'm going to, on the big five, that take precedence, feed saloon. You see where you go lunch na Pujong? You understand? You see what happen on Monday? I see me brother, me paddy, the Deputy Minister of Transport and Aviation, Rex Bonafa, is stand between the products that we put na Kailan, because he's from Kailan. They were so good to watch. You know, we all make fun in one forum, say, send this thing for we. In a city there that we know they ever seen a free toya. You understand? So this ambitious program of His Excellency, it go only realize the bull if it get the buy-in of the private sector.
No, I just want to talk about that because it's stated here. I mean, it says, while encouraging Sierra Leoneans to embrace agriculture, the president noted that the private sector involvement is also very important.
I'm very happy that he knows that.
How do you think, the president should be able to, bring in the private sector to support, his initiative?
Supportive collaboration. Supportive collaboration. You get all the good policies. Bring in the private sector for actually helping. Like Arise. Now they anchor the relevance in supporting the vision of His Excellency in the feed salon. They anchor the relevance. You understand? Supportive collaboration. The government cannot do it alone. A lot of us say government, they can't. You say government farm, they can't create one, they can't create two. Now, it is support the private sector. The private sector is the engine for the socio-economic growth trajectory of every nation. For quite a while, we don't allow the economy to be dictated by foreigners. I don't want to sound a little bit discriminatory, okay, but this is a reality. Now, the stark reality is how many Israelis get job where they employ people. But here, you get somebody where say, you know what, I get this opportunity for even take this somewhere. I become the CEO. But at the fed for make this thing come in a salon for can help your own country. And the feed salon, when you watch at the feed salon, the key objective of feed salon and also the arrival of Kihu, for me, is a blessing. Yesterday, when we were addressed by no less a person, the chairman for the climate change and environment, Dr. Khan Keller. We get a session with him yesterday in the State House. Monday, he gets one of the biggest conference where we all go put ideas together and see how we can address the issue of energy, how we can address the issue of renewable energy,
food security,
how we can address the issue of food security. Because you get a situation where somebody they come outside, he go put generator in one village and clap, hey. It not become sustainable. We will look beyond all of them in the day again. We want a sustainable, renewable energy, like the manifestation now where no less a company like Infinitum Energy Group don't make government, the president, in response to America. He said, this is my buy-in. With all of them, that let's hear one see. Make people that come when they can't take dirty, they turn on to electricity. They move on. You understand? Not if I go put one generator.